Join me as I break down the top 10 defenses for week 6 of fantasy football. And you don't want to miss this because 4 of these defenses are available in over 50% of leagues. And if you joined us last week, and why you want to hit that subscribe right now to get this video next week, is our top 3 waiver ads last week were all top 10 defenses, including the Colts, who were number 2 overall. And we're jumping right into number 10, the New England Patriots, available in 80% of leagues in a matchup against the Saints. So we got to start right away with the matchup tab because the Saints aren't as easy a matchup as everybody thinks. So far this season, they've allowed 5 points, 14 points to the Seahawks, who have been doing great so far, 6 points to the Bills, and 1 point to the Jets. So it's not as easy matchup as everybody thinks, but I'll also go back to the Patriots, who have been better than a lot of people think. 7 points, 13 points, 2 points against the Steelers. That was a little bit of a weird game. Then 11 points and 8 points against the Buffalo Bills. This week facing the Saints, that is a much better matchup. I'm confident you can lock them into your lineup. Number 9, we have that Seahawks defense we were just talking about. They've been excellent this year so far. 6 points week 1, then 22, 14, 11, not so good in week 5. But the thing we want to watch out for is Devin Witherspoon's health. He is their top cornerback, and he was out against the Buccaneers. If he can return this week, if he doesn't return, I'm not playing the Seahawks. But if he is back, that is a huge advantage facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 8 is the Cleveland Browns, who haven't looked so good if you just look at their fantasy points, but check out the matchups. Week 1 against Joe Burrow, week 2 against Lamar Jackson, week 4 against the Detroit Lions. This week they face a Steelers team that has been struggling up front. I think the Steelers will struggle, giving up a few sacks in this game. That could lead to fumbles, that could lead to interceptions, and that's why I think the Browns are a good start this week. Number 7 is the Raiders, who have been awful this season. There's no other way to put it. The only reason why we're starting them is the matchup. They're playing the Tennessee Titans this week, who've been giving up double-digit points to pretty much every defense. They gave up 14 week 1, 8 week 2, 13 week 3, 14 week 4, and 7 points, which was a crazy comeback at the end to get those 7 points in week 5. Now, the Raiders, again, they've got Max Crosby. They have a few good defensive players, and the Titans have been struggling mightily, especially on the offensive line, giving up sacks, giving up interceptions, giving up fumbles. So that's why I'm going with the Raiders this week, even though they've been a rough defense. At 6, I've got the ice-cold Rams defense. They may even get dropped in some leagues because of how bad they were week 5 against the San Francisco 49ers, which were almost all backups. But this week, they're playing the Baltimore Ravens, who have really struggled with Cooper Rush at quarterback. You can see in week 5, they gave up 11 points to the Texans defense. And the Rams, they are one of the best defenses in the league. They did struggle against the 49ers, but hey, they've got a great coach. They've got Christian McCaffrey, so can't hold against them too much. But this week against the Ravens, who struggle, Cooper Rush has one of the lowest depth of targets. And when Derrick Henry is someone you want to stack the box for, having a quarterback that can't throw deep is a huge advantage. So the Rams, they just bring everybody down close to the line of scrimmage, and they're shutting down the pass game and the run game at the same time. And guys, you're not going to get this analysis on any other page, so make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Let's get to the next team. Number 5 is my best call from last week, the Colts defense, still available in 38% of leagues with a nice matchup this week against the Cardinals. But first, I want to look at what the Colts have done. Week 1 against Miami, week 3 against Tennessee, week 5 against the Raiders. They put up double-digit points against these weaker teams. And we go to the matchup tab, we see the last 2 weeks, the Cardinals are struggling. 11 points to the Seahawks, 13 points to the Titans defense. They gave up 3 sacks. They gave up 6 sacks to the Seahawks. This is where the Colts can stack up the fantasy points. We also had some fumbles and some interceptions in the last 2 games for the Cardinals. So a team that is struggling, a team that is low morally. After a game they absolutely should have won against the Titans, this team is reeling. The Colts are going to step in and take advantage. Number 4 is my Pittsburgh Steelers coming off the bye week. We look at what they've done on defense so far. Last couple weeks, they finally put it together. 16 points against the Patriots, forcing fumble after fumble after fumble, and a great week against the Vikings as well. And it would have been even better if they didn't play so passively and kind of collapse at the end of the game. And this week, they're coming off the bye, they're getting some rest, and they get to play Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. And when you look at what the Browns did last week, it was a lot of passing to the tight end. The Steelers have fast linebackers, guys that can keep up with the tight ends, which is going to put Dylan Gabriel under immense pressure in this game. So they are still available in over 33% of leagues. So 1 out of 3 leagues out there, the Steelers are available, and I would definitely scoop them up. Number 3 is the Denver Broncos. And by the way, guys, let me know which hat is your favorite down in the comments. This one is my personal favorite, the corduroy, but let me know which one you like the best. And I love the Denver Broncos defense this week. They had 14 points week 1 against Tennessee, but then 7, 10, 7 the last few weeks. And the Eagles are a really tough matchup. They've got great players, great team, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, still were able to score the 7 points. and this week they're facing the Jets. And Justin Fields has struggled in every single quarter except the fourth quarter, and this is where I think the Broncos take advantage. We'll go over to the matchup tab, see how the Jets have been doing this week, and they've been giving up 10 points, 14 points, 8 points, 7 points. I'm definitely locking in the Broncos for week 6. Number 2, and I'm out of hats now, guys, is the Eagles defense. And by the way, number 1 defense is available in over 50% of leagues, so make sure you stick around for that. But we first have to talk the Eagles because they're one of the most rostered defenses in the entire league. They've only had 2 good weeks against the Rams and against the Buccaneers. They struggled against Denver, against the Chiefs, and against Dallas. Those are 3 pretty good offenses, but this week they get to face the Giants. And last week, I got to go to the matchup tab. Look at what the Giants gave up last week. 18 points to the Saints defense. Jackson Dart just was randomly dropping the ball. Cam Scatterbo had a fumble. They were throwing interceptions. It was an absolute turnover bonanza. And this week, the Eagles defense, they're going to be trying to take full advantage of that. You have an experienced veteran team versus a young team led by a couple of rookies, missing some key players. So definitely lock the Eagles in this week, but let's see how they perform throughout the season with some of their tougher matchups, because you may not be able to trust them every week because they honestly haven't been that solid when they do face the good teams. And our number 1 defense you have to add this week is the Green Bay Packers. So far this season, they've been kind of up and down. 10 points week 1, 5, 8, -3 against Dallas, but they have the best possible matchup this week against the Bengals. We'll check out the game log to show exactly what we mean. Week 1 with Joe Burrow, they gave up 4 points. After that, 8 points, 30 points to the Vikings, 10 points to the Broncos, 10 points to the Lions. This is a team that's consistently giving up double-digit points to defenses. With the Packers being available in over 50% of leagues, you have to lock them in your lineup. Those are your top 10 defenses for week 6. Let me know any start-sit questions you have down in the comments, and hit that like and subscribe to get this video every single week.